Oh,
All right, Shalom.
shalom, shalom.
Want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahahak Warash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the Aki teaching about the mind while Mop. That's in sincerity and truth. It's the brother from Great Millstone, Dallas, Yatazak. I got the brother from Wisconsin, Great Millstone, Atazawan. And the
Oh,
Lord allowed us an opportunity to crank our page back up, man. So we was in the spirit a while back to get into full chapters, full chapters, looking up words and edifying the hopeful elect to the best of our ability. So we're able to get back together now from time to time. So what we want to do is we want to pick up where we left off, which is Romans chapter 14. So you got anything before we get started, brother?
um, well, just to kind of give a brief summary of what we're gonna go into. Um, Basically, when you read in these epistles, especially when you're dealing with Paul's writings, when we're dealing with the Gentiles, you're dealing with situations where you have new members coming in, and these epistles is to shape the proper mindset of the new members, and as well as on how to deal with situations. All right, like that we have these situations in camps now today. Okay, remember what's happening back in the ancient world is a replica on what's going on today on how we answer and deal with situations. Okay. Before we get into Romans 14, um, could I read First Corinthians 8? Uh, well, you know what? Never mind. We'll get into that. We'll get into it. We can crank
Okay.
it up. Let's crank it up. Do you want me to read in the GNT or do you want me to read in the regular KJV?
We can go back and forth. You can start in the GNT.
Okay, you'll start in the GNT. Now, this at the title of it says Principles of Conscience. Okay, Principles of Conscience. All right, and the purpose is you don't want to make a brother fall or for a man to go off. Remember, we are dealing with uh, the Gentiles who just left out of the customs of the Greeks, customs of the Romans. Okay, so you have to deal with your brother, all right, in a way that he won't fall. Okay, so let's get Romans the 14th chapter, and I'm gonna start it off in the GNT. It says, "Welcome those who are weak." This is Romans 14:1. "Welcome those who are weak in faith, but do not argue with them about their personal opinions. Some people's faith allow them to eat anything, but the person who is weak in the faith eats only vegetables."
Right. So you got a situation to where you handling newer brother with kid gloves pretty much. You
Yep.
see, he's not as seasoned as you are, so you
Right.
got to watch how you move for your sake as well as his.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so you have Jake that eats certain things, Jake that don't eat certain things, but the Lord is dealing with both of y'all in His own way.
Right.
So we tiptoeing around that, trying to figure out the best way to deal with a brother, even with something as what may seem to be minor as what you eat. Right? You might not eat meat. You might not eat meat, but I do eat meat. But the Lord can still be dealing with both of us,
Right. It says the person who will eat anything is not to despise the one who doesn't.
And that eat anything. It's not talking about anything as far as unlawful things. It's all talking about within the law.
Within the law.
You got Paul is dealing with the Israelites and the Israelite foreigners. So you have to understand that the law is still there.
Yep.
But just like the Acts 15 council, okay?
Yeah.
They dealt with them with kid gloves, but they dealt with them nonetheless. You see? And they started them out with baby steps, so eventually they can grow. Because we go from babes to young men, but we going from milk to meat. So you want to watch how you deal with it, brother.
Exactly. Yep. You know what? Let me grab a precept for you real quick.
I'll pull up whatever precepts you whatever
Okay, what
precepts.
desire the sincere milk of the truth. I believe that's first Peter.
All right.
First Peter.
First Peter chapter 2, verse 2.
Yep.
All right, this is First Peter chapter 2, verse 2. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 1.
Yep.
It says, wherefore laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Yeah, that's it right there. It's just that simple. Now you coming into this new lifestyle, you got to put away all that old man. All right, and this is the transition from the Gentiles coming into that new man. Okay, all the old ways, the idolatry, the worship of these deities, and in 1 Corinthians 14 is going to start going into how they worship gods by certain forms of eating. Okay, gods, they sacrifice foods to particular gods. So you got to put in your mind that this is what they're leaving from. Okay, so it says, as newborn babe desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. So, like the elder was just saying, baby steps with the new members. You can't just jump into giving them the Revelation 13 breakdown, Revelation 20 breakdown, Revelation 17 breakdown. You got to build them up with the foundations of what? You're an Israelite, what respectable tribe, the name of the Lord, salvation is for Israel, certain basic things like that. That's how you build up the brothers and, sisters for that matter as well. All right, until they become a little bit aged in it, then you can go into certain parables that's dealing with the same topics, you know?
And you're not beating them over the head with the law neither. You see,
Right.
Even Peter said, look, we couldn't keep the law. Us and our fathers couldn't even keep the law, so we can't break them over the head with it. You
Right.
see, that's why that counsel in Acts chapter 15 was so important. You
Yep.
see, okay, well, since we're not gonna put the whole law on you, since we couldn't keep it, let's just start with this, and this. Matter of fact, pull that.
Yep.
Yeah, things strangled and all those things which come from the law, of course. You see, you spoon feeding with the law. You're not these other groups like IUIC when the law shit. They trying to drink some water. They ask you for a sip of water. You give it to them through a fucking water hose.
Right.
A fire. You drinking water out of fire hydrant. Fucking with them.
So where you want me to start?
You can just find the point.
Okay, things straight.
What they were telling them to stay away from.
Yep. Verse 20. You know what? Let me see. I'm gonna start from verse 17. Acts 15 and 17. It says that the residue of men might seek after the Lord, and all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called, saith the Lord, who doeth all these things. Known unto the Most High are all his works from the beginning of the world. Wherefore my sentence is that we trouble not them, which from among the Gentiles are turned to the Most High. And the point is not troubling them. Yep, you got it.
The Gentiles that's turned to the Most High is the Israelite foreigners, people who were finding out that they were Israelites based on they being drawn in by the word.
Yep.
You see, the scriptures tell you that a heathen not gonna understand. So if they understand it enough to where they're willing to take on these rules, these laws to the best of their ability, that's where you get that from. We represent those Israelite foreigners.
Facts.
Okay, you got it.
But that we write unto them that they abstain from pollutions of idols, and from fornication, and from things strangled, and from blood.
Right, blood, things strangled, idols. You see, these are the baby steps that these men were taking, that these believers were taking.
That they could
keep. It was just like the brother was going into earlier. He was like, look, when it comes to new believers, you handle them a certain way. Mm-hmm. You know, you got it.
Then please, if the apostles, I'm sorry, verse 21. For Moses of old time had in every city them that preached him, being read in the synagogue every Sabbath day. Then please that the apostles and elders with the whole church to send the chosen men of their own company to Antioch, Paul and Barnabas, namely Judas, surnamed uh, Bar- Barsabas, and Silas, chief men among the brethren. And they wrote letters by them after this manner. The apostles and elders and brethren sending greeting unto the brethren which are of the Gentiles in Antioch and in Syria and Cilicia. For as much as we have heard, the certain which went out from us from trouble you with words, subverting your souls, saying ye must be circumcised and keep the law, to whom we gave no such commandment.
See, now those letters are these videos that we making. You
Right.
see, you got newer believers that ask questions all the time, and it's our duty to ask those questions, answer those questions.
Right.
Just like Peter said, be ready to give an answer. That's talking about to a sincere listener,
Yep.
somebody that's sincere. Jacob come out there with his fridges on, talk about how you drop a transmission and you wicked if you can't answer the shit. But at the end of the day, it's for the hope that's within you, and we hope to be delivered. So we want to make sure that we handle the Lord's sheep with care. That's what Paul is talking about. He was getting asked all these questions about all these situations, and food being one of them, you know. And that's the way he broke it down to him through the Spirit.
Yep.
Go ahead.
It says, for it seemed good to the Holy Spirit and to us to lay upon you no greater burden than these necessary things. Okay. And the point is, the purpose of it, let's go back, is about not putting burden or a yoke on the newer members. Because you can cause those men and women, beginning with the men, of course, to fall. All right. We ain't coming in, but that's what the wicked Pharisees and the scribes were doing. They was putting heavy yokes on them, and Jake was falling from it. Okay, so it says, I believe in Matthew 23. I think it's Matthew 23 where it says that they shut up the kingdom of heaven from men. You know, so let's go 29. That ye abstain from meats offered to idols, and from blood, and from things strangled, and from fornication, from which if ye keep yourselves, ye shall do well, fare ye well.
Abstaining from meat offered to idols. That was a big issue. You see, you had Jake in captivity, the people who they worked for, the people who they were slaves under, right? It say abstain from meat offered unto idols. But if it's lawful food, the Lord created that for our sakes.
Right.
So just like the situation where Jake don't want to eat turkey on Thanksgiving. They slaughtered our brothers and this and that and all, right? So if you have a situation where it's Thanksgiving and you go get a plate from your people, if that's a situation that may offend a newer believer, then you just keep it away from them.
Right.
You see? Oh man, you eating turkey after they slaughtered our people, and he get, you know what I'm saying? Jake get all worked up. To avoid that, look, bro, if you don't want to eat it, that's fine. I won't eat it in front of you. That's fine.
Well, we went through that when we first came into the truth. We didn't get no plates. We didn't do nothing.
Right. Sitting up hungry as hell.
Yeah. Hey, we separated from our family damn near for 6-7 years. No communication. As far as us here, no communication, no nothing. And then when we started to, learn more precepts and scriptures and things, then you can, okay, shit, give me a plate. Shit, I'm hungry. I ain't cooking. Sometimes I do the Shabbat. I ain't cooking. Hey, y'all niggas cooking? All right, cool. Shit, yes, fix me a plate.
And you stay away from the food that's unlawful.
Exactly. Yep.
That's all. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, verse 30. So when they were dismissed, I think that's pretty much the point.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. All right, so we're gonna swing back to Romans 14. All right. I was reading in the GMC.
We can read it in the King James.
Okay, yeah, come.
Yeah.
All right. Principles of conscience, Romans 14:1. Him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful disputations. But one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs. Let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not, and let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth, for the Most High have received him.
Right. We already broke that down. You can keep going.
Yep. Who art thou that judgest another man's servant? To his own master he standeth or falleth. Yea, he shall be holden up, for the Most High is able to make him stand.
Right. So at the end of the day, man, worry about yourself. But
Right.
at the same time, you watch it. I would say by you watching yourself, you actually watching for other brothers. You see what I'm saying? You know what? I'm just not gonna do this. I'm just not gonna do this because I don't want to be the reason why our brothers stumble.
Right.
You see? But if the Lord, I would say, but I say by you doing that, they gonna follow your lead because you following Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Right.
All right, go ahead.
One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind.
That's what I'm saying. That every man is fully persuaded in his own mind on their own time frame.
Yep.
You see, you've been around for 5 years. This dude been around for 6 months. Y'all gonna have different understanding.
Yep.
And watching the way you move around that brother is gonna help you by being mindful, and it's also gonna help build him up.
Yep.
You see, so eventually, I'm gonna say that's just like me and you. Me and you, what, 4-5 years apart in this thing?
Yep.
You see, but now both of us been around long enough to where we understand these different things, to where we can put together a lesson like this.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Go ahead.
Real quick, let me see something real quick. Okay. Verse 6. He that regardeth the day regardeth it unto the Lord, and he that regardeth not the day to the Lord he does not regard it. He that eateth to the Lord, for he giveth the Most High thanks, and he that eateth not to the Lord he eateth not, and giveth the Most High thanks.
You see, so whichever one you choosing, you doing it with the Lord on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You see, if you're gonna eat on that day, cool. If you're not gonna eat on that day, that's cool too. But at the end of the day, the Lord is dealing with both.
Right.
You see, some Jake might fast on a day like that. You still giving thanks to the Heavenly Father. Some dudes might eat that day. You just pray over the food.
Yep.
You got it.
For none of us liveth to himself, and no man dieth to himself. But whether we live unto the Lord, and whether we die unto the Lord. Whether we live, therefore, or die, we are the Lord's.
Right. So, you got it.
For to this end, Hamashiach both died and rose and revived, that he might be Lord both of the dead and living.
You can break it down.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's basically self-explanatory, you know?
God.
But why does thou judge thy brother? Or why does thou set at naught thy brother? For we shall all stand before the judgment seat of Yahweh Shem Shai. Yeah,
now,
so
keep in mind, you're not going to be going back and forth with a brother over food and all that because it ain't that big a deal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it offend that brother to see you eat turkey on Thanksgiving, just eat it after you go home.
Right.
Don't eat it in front of him.
But don't mention it. Yeah, don't mention it. Right.
Yep. But at the same time, you let him know, like, bro, okay, the food is made for us, right?
Right.
All these things were made for our sake. If they offer you pork chops, of course you're gonna say no.
Right.
But if they offer you something lawful, eventually that brother's gonna have the understanding that, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You see, you pray over the food. It says stay away from food that was prayed over for idols.
Right.
You see, so I know I'm not worshiping Molech by eating turkey.
Right.
It's just that simple.
Yep.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna swing into 1 Corinthians 8 real quick.
Come on.
And I'm gonna read it in the GNT. It's way more clearer, so you can understand. Let's see. It's
we can stay in the GNT.
Okay, it's in the
Yeah,
third.
you just let's because Paul writers can trip you up a little bit. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Plus, we can tell when it's going off.
Right.
So
Right. Exactly.
we can stay at the GNT for now.
Okay. So this is and it's pretty very basic right here in this GNT. And it says the questions about food offered to idols. All right, First Corinthians 8:1. It says, now concerning what you wrote about food offered to idols, it is true, of course, that all of us have knowledge. As they say, such knowledge puffs. I'm sorry. As they say, such knowledge, however, puffs a person up with pride. But love builds up whoever. But love builds up. Whoever thinks he knows something really doesn't know as he ought to know. But
Right,
the
it's levels
person
to it.
is levels exactly. Yep. But the person who loves the Most High is known by him. Okay. So don't get proud, man. Knowledge puffeth up. So then, about eating the food offered to idols, we know that an idol stands for something that does not really exist. Yeah, because
Right, that's what I'm
technically all
saying.
these gods don't exist.
All the guys, all the guys of the nations are vanity.
Exactly.
They don't exist. You
Yep.
see, but it's the vibration that comes with that. You see,
Exactly.
and you wanna avoid that. So by avoiding that, you throw up a prayer over the food because the Heavenly Father made the food for our sake. He created it for us. So therefore, when you throw up a prayer to the Heavenly Father, it eliminates that so-called God that they dedicated the food to.
Yep.
You got it.
We know that there is only the one power, even if there are so-called gods, whether in heaven or on earth. And even though there are many of these gods and lords, yet there is for us only one power or one God, the Father who is the creator of all things and for whom we live. And
That's
there
what I'm
is
saying. Our
only,
Father is the only one that exists.
yep,
You see. So for a newer person to come in, they've been hearing all these guys and they seeing all these different things and they know that Yahweh exists. They just got to knock off the old man.
yeah, right,
I remember fasting on Thanksgiving and Christmas and all those different days. You see? But then once I got a thorough understanding, I was fully persuaded in my own mind that our power is the only ones that exist. I don't have a problem with eating that day.
right,
But at the same time, if I'm dealing with a younger brother, if it's a younger brother with me that weekend, I'm gonna eat something else.
don't make
I make
mention
my
of it.
own food. I wouldn't even partake in it because I'm thinking about his walk as well as mine.
Yeah,
You see, so I'm
yep,
showing that I have an understanding by being able to refrain just to be looking out for the brother.
yep. Hey, because back in the ancient world, Jake dedicated their lives to idol worship. You go into the Roman Empire, they dedicated their lives into, they believed that these idols would give them wealth and nourishment and prosperity. So they dedicated their lives for generations on this shit. Okay. So now when they find out Yahushua exists and you're chosen, you have salvation, you don't want them demons, that old man, to try to resurface going back into the mindset of worshiping an idol. Okay.
That's right.
It say, verse 6. Yet there is for us only one God, the Father who is the creator of all things, and for whom we live. And there is only one Lord, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, through whom all things were created, and through whom we live. But not everyone knows this truth. Some people have been so used to idols that to this day, when they eat such food, they think of it as food that belongs to an idol.
That's what I'm saying. And a seasoned brother knows that.
Right.
A seasoned brother knows that. But you
Mm-hmm.
can't make somebody else know that.
Yep.
So since I can't make the brother know that, I can just lead by example.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And if it gets to the point to where the brother like, man, if he see you eat something, you like, bro. And then if I got to curse your ass out over some turkey, then damn it, I'm gonna eat the turkey. You tripping. You know? So if it come to that, you can just tell the brother, look, you need to get your game up.
Yep.
You see? Do our Heavenly Father exist? Then don't come talk to me about no damn Molech. Don't come talk to me about none of that shit, man. If you don't want to eat it, don't eat it.
Don't eat it.
You see? Now, I done passed up plenty of turkey fucking with you, brother. I'm not finna keep on passing up lawful food because you not coming up to speed.
God.
I done told you now. Go ahead, bro. I'm just talking shit, man.
Yeah. It said their conscience is weak and they feel they are defiled by the food. Our relation with the Most High, we shall not lose anything if we do not eat, nor shall we gain anything if we do eat.
You see that? You got to come to that realization through the spirit, man. And if the spirit is dealing with you, you're gonna be able to understand that because we done all been through it.
Right.
You see? You're gonna starve. I would say you're gonna starve yourself. Matter of fact, what's that precept say? Be not righteous over much.
Be not righteous over much. You have being OR. Let me get it.
You see? Being OR over righteous. Like, bro, that's what I'm saying. You got men that been around all this time, man, and you tripping over a turkey sandwich? Man, please. That's why I say, boy. And that's why we go, that's why we look into the words. That's why we throw up prayers. That's why we put up these lessons. You see? Because eventually, everybody, I would say, eventually that brother's going to be persuaded in his own mind.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
You got Jake out there talking about they going to stone you if you eat on the wrong day. You like, man, if you don't get your Taco Bell eating ass up out of here.
Pepsi drinking,
nigga, yeah. I want to say nigga eat Taco Bell on camera.
Baby fetus drinking, motherfucker.
Yeah, nigga eating Taco Bell on camera telling you what you can and can't do. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, jackass. Ecclesiastes 7:16, but the founder for socks. Well, that's something else. Ecclesiastes 7:16. Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
That's what I'm saying. You don't destroy yourself doing too much.
Yep. You gotta have a balance in this thing, man. All right. You ain't trying to be over. You ain't trying to be wicked. You just gotta have a balance.
Yeah. And if you see Jake eating something unlawful, then have at it. You can say something. Yeah. He need to be rebuked. You see Drake. You see Drake eating a fucking shrimp po' boy. You get on his goddamn ass.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
But if he eating something lawful, then you know what I'm saying. Pray to the Lord for understanding. Jake ain't finna starve for you.
Right. Or to eliminate all of that, just don't be around certain Jake that's at certain levels.
Yeah.
That's why I rank.
If you fast, if you fast in that day and I'm not, we ain't finna be together. Yeah. We ain't doing that shit. I'll catch you later, brother.
Right. All right,
shit, man, you being over righteous shit. By the time you come off your fast, I'll have some food ready for you. How about that? That's how much we love our brothers. So it ain't no really big deal. You know what I'm saying? I know you're going to be hungry as hell tomorrow. So I'm going to make sure that if I am with you tomorrow, that we got something for you. We're going to start you out with some fruit. You know what I'm saying? And I'll mess around and crank the grill up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it all works together.
Right. Right. Verse 9. Be careful, however, not to let your freedom of action make those who are weak in the faith fall into sin. Okay, so basically you got to be mindful. You got to be mindful you know what men you're around, what brothers you're around, who's weak in the faith. You're a year in, 2 years in, 6 months in, you know. And this is just protocols of keeping the body without any schisms. The water. That's what I'm trying to say. Keeping the body without any schisms. Keeping the body fully intact with one another. You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, say a brother got a problem. Say a brother got a problem with drinking. He trying to stop. I'm not finna just be hella pouring up in front of this brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If he crack up with a Topo Chico or some alcohol free, I drink that with him.
Right.
I drink when I get home.
Yep.
You see? But just cause he not drinking don't mean he can talk shit about me. And just cause I am drinking and he not don't mean I can talk shit about him. Cause we still brothers at the end of the day.
Yep.
You know?
And what did Paul say? He has been to all men. What does it say? It speaks about him being like unto all men.
Man,
Roughly paraphrasing.
man, can somebody put that on the comment board, Baba Kasha? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't formulate it.
Highest
But
word,
basically,
yeah.
like let's say you're around, elder brothers or brothers that's been around. You know how to operate. You know how to deal, right? Then you get
Mm-hmm.
with younger men. You operate on their level. You see,
Right.
you operate on their level. You know, you ain't got to be too almighty. You know,
I'm
you
gonna pull this
keep
precept
it
off the
simple.
comment board right quick.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, brother. Yanaga, water, shalom. So First
Shalom.
Corinthians 6:12, it says, "All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient.
There we go.
All things are lawful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any." You see?
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. All things are lawful, but all things not expedient. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just because you can do something, don't mean that you should do something.
Right.
All right, you got it. Okay, here we go.
They got
First
it.
Corinthians 9:22. To the
Yep.
weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I
That's
am
it.
made. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Shalom, Virgin Islands.
Shalom. So this is really a matter of understanding. All right, on how you deal with younger, weak in the mind brothers.
Right. Verse
Verse 10.
23. Verse
Oh,
23.
I'm sorry.
And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you. You see? So at the end of the day, man, it's all about the ministry.
That's it.
You see? It's all about the ministry. Y'all say, the Lord say, you love me, feed my sheep. That's what you do in all situations. It's always a teaching moment. It's always a learning moment for you and the brother.
Yeah.
You know?
There's no room for that arrogance, that prideness, because the Lord can take that, can take you out and then lift up that next brother, man. So verse 10, 1 Corinthians 8:10. Suppose a person whose conscience is weak in this matter sees you, who have so-called knowledge, a so-called older brother, right, eating in the temple of an idol. Will not this encourage him to eat food offered to idols? And so this weak person, your brother for whom Hamashiach died, will perish because of your knowledge. And if this way you will be sinning against Hamashiach by sinning against your Christian brothers and and wounding their weak conscience.
You see, so if you know a brother is weak, don't put him out there.
Yeah.
Don't put him out there if you know he's weak in that area, man. You see? It's just that's plain.
Yeah.
Okay, I know when it comes to this particular subject, even though I'm seasoned in it and I'm okay with it through the spirit, I still got to build this brother up until he's at least where I am. Yep. But he's not right there now. So I'm not even going to put that on him.
Yep.
So if you see Jake eating a certain food on a certain day and you know that that's going to mess with a brother's faith, then just don't do it.
Right.
You know,
he can't handle that environment.
You can refrain from eating something to look out for a brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like us. Like I said, if you eating a ham sandwich in front of a brother, you going the fuck off.
Right.
But that's not what Paul's talking about. Paul is talking about lawful foods. You know what I'm saying? And you still gotta walk, and you still gotta watch how you move with that.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
Yep. Last verse it says, "I will never eat meat again, so as not to make my brother fall into sin."
You see? So in the spirit and power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, I'm gonna control myself just to help this brother out. Right. You know? And then one day, who knows? A year or two later, or however long later, he might mess around and be eating on the day that you seen that he was uncomfortable with at first, showing you that he done grown some.
Right.
You know? And then we move on to the next glory.
That's right. Okay, so let me go back to Romans 14. I'm going to start from verse 9 and read back into it. It says, for Hamashiach died and rose to life in order to be the Lord of the living and of the dead. You then, who eat only vegetables, why do you pass judgment on others? And you who eat anything, why do you despise other believers? All of us will stand before the Most High to be judged by Him. So you can't judge, being a younger brother or a weaker brother who's eating the vegetables or the herbs, right? You can't talk shit and judge this brother for eating the meats, and vice versa. You know,
That's right. Because what you gonna do when the Passover come? You gonna be
right,
over righteous then?
right. You got to eat the lamb. You got to eat the lamb, and that goes for brothers who don't drink. What you gonna do in the Passat? Because you gotta drink the wine.
You see?
You know,
You do the ceremony. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to eat 2 or 3 pieces of lamb, don't. But you're gonna have to eat some lamb. So get it together, man. The brother dropped off. All right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and jump down to where he left off. Romans 14:11. It says, "For it is written, as I live, saith the Lord, every knee shall bow to me." You back? Uh-oh. Okay, there we go.
yeah, I don't know what happened.
Oh, it's all good. You can pick up where you left off.
Yeah, bird. All right. End off on verse 11. For the scripture saith, as surely as I am the living power, says the Lord, everyone will kneel before me, and everyone will profess that I am the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of us then will have to give account to the Most High.
That's what I'm saying. So whether you ate that day or you didn't eat that day.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So then let us stop judging one another. Instead, you should decide never to do anything that will make others stumble or fall into sin.
That's what I'm saying, man. At the end of the day, keep it to yourself. Just stay in the spirit. You see?
Yep.
Just stay in the spirit as much as possible. That's what it's going into, man. Being able to be seasoned enough. I would say, if you seasoned enough to eat lawful food, if you seasoned enough to fast for that day, either way, the Lord still gonna have to. You still gonna have to deal with the Lord.
Yep.
You see? So ain't no use of going back and forth. Well, I ain't eating. Well, I am eating. No. You got to be fully persuaded in your own mind what you gonna do. You see? Both of them are within the law as long as they're not being wicked, whether you eat or whether you fast. And Paul was conveying that message. Paul was conveying that message to everybody that was involved.
Yep.
You see? If it's gonna offend, I would say if it's gonna offend you to not eat, and it's gonna offend this brother to eat, then work around it. Mm-hmm. But we're not gonna go back and forth about it. No. Mm-hmm. You got it.
Now, real quick, I just want to read in my study Bible for verse 13 when it goes into a stumbling block and a occasion to fall. It says a stumbling block is a conduct that is offensive or causes shock to another. In this case, it brings an occasion to fall. It causes a believer to imitate the conduct of another with the result that he is conscience stricken and feels that he has sinned against the Most High.
See, that's what I'm saying. So when it comes to that turkey on Thanksgiving, the younger brother is like, well, the older brother eating it, you know what I'm saying? But I don't feel comfortable with it, but I'm going to eat it just because he eating it. Right. No, you ain't got to do all that. Right. You know what I'm saying? And to keep you from being in that boat, the older brother knows that you weak in that circumstance, so he just don't eat it in front of you. You know what I'm saying? You know what, brother? Since you don't want to eat turkey on Thanksgiving, how about we go to the restaurant and we get some lamb? Right. You want to do that, bro? Let's go get something to eat, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then you totally take him out of that situation and you feed him in the spirit as well as getting him a nice meal. Right. You know what I'm saying? And the conversation that y'all have over that meal is going to build him up even more. Right. You see? It can get to the point where in the meal, you're like, you know what, brother? We could have ate some turkey because of this, and this. And then you go into how the food, what those items don't exist. And you pretty much give them a lesson on the spot. Yep. That's what was going on back then.
Yep.
That's what's going on now.
Yep.
You got it.
Facts. Okay, now jumping back, verse 14. My union with the Lord Yahushai makes me certain that no food is of itself ritually unclean.
Right. Lawful food. I would say, I know the Lord put lawful food in my face so I can eat it.
Right.
You see? But Jake ain't there yet. Jake got to get there.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. But if you believe that some food is unclean, then it becomes unclean for you.
Right. It becomes unclean for you. You the one that made that turkey the devil.
Right.
The turkey sitting over there like, yo, you know like, what the fuck I do?
Eat me.
You know? Seasoned the smoke to perfection. Rio.
If you hurt others because of something you eat, then you are no longer acting from love.
You see, that's what I'm saying. So, in order for, I would say, so to not hurt another brother because of what I'm eating, I'm just gonna fall back or give him give him another option.
Right.
Go ahead.
Do not let the food that you eat ruin the person of whom Hamashiach died.
Man, I seen Yatzak eating on Thanksgiving like I thought he was a Garrite. Take mad to the hole. You know what I'm saying? And that's his reason for finding out the truth. I knew this wasn't the truth because I seen so-called Elder Yatzak eating on Thanksgiving like he was eating that turkey like he was a damn Edomite.
Yep.
So he leave the truth alone. Now that blood on my hands. Because I knew that he was weak in that area, but I did what I wanted to do just because I was hungry. Now, you know what?
Yep.
Walking in the spirit, man. We got to walk in the spirit. You see? Go ahead.
Yep. Do not let what you regard as good get a bad name. Yeah. For the Most High's kingdom is not a matter of eating and drinking, but of the righteousness, peace, and joy with the Holy Spirit give.
You see?
The Holy Spirit gives.
So at the end of the day, you're gonna fall back on what you want to do to look out for a brother, which shows your growth as well.
Exactly.
And both of y'all grow through that situation.
Yep, being selfless. In some instance, you're gonna have to be a little selfless. Right. All right. It ain't about you. It ain't about that you hungry. You know, it's about, hey, I have this younger man right next to me, and I want him to be built up through the spirit. You know, it says, and when you serve Hamashiach in this way, you please the Most High and are approved by others. So then
you get out your own way, man, and that way you acceptable to the Lord, because He know how you have the understanding that it ain't nothing to eat that. So anytime you can take yourself out of the equation for another brother, you win it, man, in the spirit.
Yep.
You got it.
It's called taking the low. It says, so then we must always aim at those things that bring peace and that help strengthen one another.
That bring peace and help strengthen one another. Because that's what it's about at the end of the day. Because you able to take yourself out of the equation just to build up another brother. That's what the Lord did to us. That's what the Lord did for us. He took himself out of the equation so we can be built up. So we gotta be able to do that for the next man.
That sacrifice had to be done. Yep. It say, so then we must always aim at those things that bring peace and that help strengthen one another. Do not, because of food, destroy what the Most High has done.
That's what I'm saying. Jake done fell out over a sandwich.
Yep.
Jake done fell out over a sandwich, man. Just because that's what I'm saying. You could have easily just ate later. You could have easily gave him another option. The Lord always give us a way to escape BS. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Jake all out of pocket over what you ate just because he don't fit. Man, look. God forbid we ever be that petty.
Right. That ain't.
Man. You got it.
That's wild. Verse 20. Do okay, I read that. No, I'm gonna read it again. Verse 20. Do not, because of food, destroy what the Most High has done. All foods may be eaten, lawful, of course, but it is wrong to eat anything that will cause someone else to fall into sin.
That's right.
The right thing to do is to keep from eating meat, drinking wine, or doing anything else that will make other believers fall. Okay. And this was very important to get established because just to go back over, remember, these are the Gentiles that from their father to grandfather, grandmother, great grandfather, great grandmother was born up in these customs of idol worshiping. Okay. Was born up into sacrificing and paying homage to Zeus and Dionysus and all these other goddamn gods and shit. All right, and that was a big thing back in the ancient world. It was certain temples were set up for directly food worshiping. They would sacrifice the food unto these deities. They had certain temples directly set up, the prostitution temples. All right, those harlot houses, but they were fornicating in the presence of other gods. So was a very big deal back in ancient world because Jake was into all that shit. All right, and you got to remember, we bring in people. Well, we're not bringing them, but we're being that shepherd to lead the sheep the right way. Right. Okay, that's why these epistles are very important. That's why they're talked about today. Okay, because you do have men that do talk shit about brothers who may have gotten a sandwich, may have gotten a dinner plate from a family member on one of these stupid ass holidays, man. It ain't that deep, but it comes with understanding.
Even with Sakari, even when Alazar ate the Taco Bell on camera, if he would have kept that to himself, you know what I'm saying? Just keep that type of stuff to yourself, man.
Yep.
I mean, of course you want to stay away from that because of how unhealthy it can be.
Right.
But you don't want to be the chief high priest, you know what I'm saying, eating Taco Bell in front of a new believer when the new believer, he got it to his head, anything fast food is the devil.
Right.
You the chief high priest, you're gonna eat a Nacho Bell Grande in front of the brother. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. They can do something to his walk, they can do something to his spirit. And you want to avoid that.
Yep. Or the Pepsi. Hey, when you go into what they put in the Pepsi and you do the research, baby fetus and all type of demonic ass chemicals and shit.
Yeah.
So if you just watch the documentary on the Pepsi and then you see a brother drinking Pepsi, you're like, what the fuck? You know?
I'm talking about he riding with you. You sit him in the stove. Bring me a Pepsi back. What the fuck? He finna be. That's gonna do something to him. You see? So That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna do something like that, do that by yourself, amongst yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't be drinking Pepsi, bro. I ain't saying drink Pepsi on your. I ain't saying sneak and drink Pepsi. I'm just saying if you is a Pepsi drinking motherfucker, don't do it in front of a younger brother.
Exactly. Yep.
You got it.
Verse 21. It says the right thing to do is to keep from eating meat, drinking wine, or doing anything else that will make other believers fall. Keep what you believe about this matter. Let me read that again. I'm sorry. Keep what you believe about this matter, then between yourself and the Most High.
You see that? That's just what I just said. You see? If you're going to eat a turkey, I would say if you're going to eat the turkey on Thanksgiving, just don't do it in front of the younger brother. Mm-hmm. You see? Keep that between you and the Lord. You see? Because I'm going to tell you like this. If it's 3 or 4 brothers all together, I'm going to eat later. Especially if you got to know your flock. You got to know your personnel.
Yeah.
You see?
Yep.
If I'm the elder amongst a bunch of younger brothers, then I'm going to watch how I move.
Exactly.
You know? That's all it's talking about.
Experience. That takes experience, time. You know? Yep. It say, keep what you believe about this matter, then between yourself and the Most High. Happy are those who do not feel guilty when they do something they judge is right.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And that's for the older brother. You
Right.
see? Read that again.
Happy are those who do not feel guilty when they do something they judge is right.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not messed up behind eating a turkey sandwich
Mm-hmm.
on so-called Thanksgiving. I'm not wooed by that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not taken aback by that. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And that's my own personal blessing. Because I have the
Right.
understanding to know that it's okay to eat this.
Right.
But I'm just not finna just go balls to the wall and do the, you know what I'm saying? And do it in
Mm-hmm.
front of a brother that I know is gonna mess him up.
Right.
No, I'm just gonna eat it later. I'm gonna pray over it and eat it later.
Yep.
Just for the brother's sake. Just
Yep.
for my sake. Go ahead.
For the body's sake.
Yeah.
And say verse 23, but if they have doubts about what they eat, the Most High condemns them when they eat it. But their action is not based on faith. And anything that is not based on faith is sin.
Man, that's heavy.
Yep. Let me see. Go back down. Let me read that again. But if they have doubts about what they eat, the Most High condemns them when they eat it, because their action is not based on faith. And anything that is not based on faith is sin.
You see, you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Here it is. You don't want to eat the turkey on the so-called Thanksgiving because you're being over righteous.
Mm-hmm.
It's just said that the older brother is blessed for having an understanding. But if you damn yourself by not having faith. You don't, so you think these other idols put the made the turkey?
They over the Most High.
You see what I'm saying?
The idols, yep.
So once a brother has that understanding, he's free from that.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Because you'll eat turkey on any other day.
Right. Exactly.
You just don't want to eat it today.
And we all get our foods. When you really go down to it, we all getting our foods from the other nations anyway. So all
Right.
these other foods is already being whipped up in a fashion of these other nations, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Paul was going into that. I can't remember what chapter that was dealing with about the market.
The shambles. Just type in shambles.
Shambles. Right. There
Yeah,
we
type
go.
in
Yeah.
shambles in the blue letter.
Yep, shambles. That's what it was. Shambles. Let's get that real quick.
Matter of fact, pull that word up.
Okay.
After you read it.
Yep, 1 Corinthians 10. Yep. This is 1 Corinthians 10 and 20. Oh, I can get to the point. 1 Corinthians 10 and 25. Whatsoever is sold in the shambles that eat, asking no question for conscience sake. Okay? And we're going to go into shambles. Okay? Because remember, I believe in Ezekiel, we eating the foul meats of the Gentiles regardless. Yep. How much more from then all the way to now? At the end of the day. All right? So you got to get some, what Deacon Akai say, you can get some scholarship about yourself.
Oh, boy.
Get some scholarship about yourself. All right? Shambles. A place where meat and other articles of food are sold. Meat market.
That sounds like a grocery store, don't it?
Yep. Provision market. Let me see something real quick. I'm pretty sure in my study Bible they're gonna have what shambles is. If I'm not, I'm pretty sure they will. Let's see. Yep, shambles. Here we go. It says the shambles. A term used only here in the New Testament refers to the market. And the sacrifices, usually only a part of the animal was consumed. The rest was given to the priest or sold again in the market. Anyone might therefore unknowingly purchase meat offered to idols.
You see that? Every time you go to the store, whatever the grocery store is in where you live, it's several grocery stores out there, and all of them getting stuff shipped from everywhere.
Yep.
So what you just gonna sit there and not eat nothing?
Right.
Don't be over righteous, man.
Don't be
Don't
overripe.
starve. I did a lesson a couple weeks ago called "Don't Starve in the Grocery Store." Now I was referring to this truth being the grocery store, and you got the apostles and bishops and the pastors that's bringing out the word the right way, but you steady starving because you refusing to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
That's likened unto this right here.
Yep.
Okay. You go and say you being over righteous, so you don't even want to go in the grocery. You'll never eat again if you go with that logic.
Right.
And what's gonna happen if you don't eat or drink? You die, motherfucker.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So yeah, so for consciousness sake, don't be going into the, going back into going to Corinthians in the marketplace. Action, is this offered into an idol? Is this offered into an idol? What, where that come from? Where that come from? If it's lawful, Baba Kushai, Yahweh Shemal Shai. That's why you gotta pray over your food. Pray the food, bless the food, and just deal and deal like that.
That's it.
Verse 26, for the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof.
The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. That's including the food.
That's right.
The lawful food. The Lord told you what you can and can't eat. Yep. So you're not even gonna eat that? Come on now. Now. We can't be this simple.
Yep.
Jay just sitting there hungry, the mother nigga stomach rumbling like a bitch. But he righteous though.
He righteous.
Get the hell out of here, man.
Get some scholarship about yourself. You gotta read. Get some scholarship about yourself, Jake.
Yeah, Jake. I want to say Jake won't eat turkey on Thanksgiving. He gonna go get some Jack in the Box tacos.
Right.
Get your goofy ass out of here, nigga. But at the same time, I'm not. If that's what he want to eat that day to help his walk, cool. It's poison, but whatever. It's still lawful. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. But that's why going back to the scripture where it says, "Don't judge any man on their meats."
Exactly.
That's where they come in there. So hey, if you do it, you do it. But don't cuss me out because I'm eating this.
Right. And I won't cuss you out because you eating that.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jake got a black Whopper talking shit.
But man, my business.
Yeah, a whole Big Mac. You ain't gonna eat turkey on Thanksgiving, but you don't went and got a Big Mac? Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Eating people meat.
Interesting. Man, you seen that you wish dude? I think his name was Finkelstein or something like that. He broke down the whole McDonald's and all of that. Was really into food. Don't ask no questions.
If you do eat a Big Mac, you need to be by your damn self.
Yeah.
Make sure you throw the wrapper out the window, all that shit.
Yeah, man.
Read on.
Yeah, verse 27. If any of them that believe not bid you to a feast, and ye be disposed to go, whatsoever is set before you, eat. Asking no questions.
That's why we keep on bringing up these so-called holidays.
Right.
The days that Esau set up for you to get with your family and eat. You see? That's why we keep on bringing up the Thanksgiving. It's going to be certain situations to where food is going to be available and you're going to have to make a decision, a spiritual decision.
Yep.
Okay? Go ahead.
That's right. It says, excuse me. If any of them that believe not bid you to feast, the non-believers, right? Your family, even your work, even at you have work meetings and shit. If any of them that believe not bid you to a feast, and ye be disposed to go, whatsoever is set before you, eat. As long as it's lawful, of course, asking no questions for conscience sake. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idol, eat not for his sake that shoot it, and for conscience sake, for the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that.
Good.
So man, that's basically the understanding of Romans 14, man. Don't burden the brother what he don't eat, and he won't burden you on what you don't eat. Or what you do eat.
Right.
And make sure you leading the proper way through example, that you won't cause another man to fall. That's basically what it is. Don't
That's right.
don't don't put a stumbling block in front of your brother. In fact, I can leave off with that. That's in what is that? That's in the law, right? About not leaving a stumbling block. And stumbling blocks can come in all forms, shapes, and sizes, man.
Yes, sir.
Uh, I thought it was in the law. Stumbling block. Maybe I take the S off. I think it's in Leviticus. Yeah, I guess. Leviticus 19:14, it says, "Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shall fear the Most High. I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai." Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yep. So you got anything else, Elder?
I think we made the point.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we made the point through the spirit.
Burger.
You go ahead and close out.
All right, well, with that, Lord willing, this edifying to the hope for the elect. We'd like to give all going on and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chai, for Das, Thumb. No one is all possible, great millstone, salutation to the Akim on the four corners, pushing his truth, the sincerity, love, diligence, respect, fear, and trembling, Shalom, and the Bible, Paul.
Shalom.
And burn.